Alright, next up we're talking about 1983's Mr. Mom. Yes, this did come out in 1983 this time. Not like the last film that I kept saying came out in 1983 when it was actually an 82 film. This film is written by John Hughes and directed by Stan Dragoti. I think that's how you pronounce it. Featuring Michael Keaton, Terry Garr, Martin Mull, Ann Julian, Christopher Lloyd. This film is awesome. And basically, if you haven't heard of this film, this is basically the movie that really was his first, Michael Keaton, his first starring role in a film where it was his first time having his name slapped right on top of the, like right above the title. He was the big man on campus with this film. And basically this movie is about an engineer, an auto engineer. I'm pretty sure he was an engineer in the auto plant. But basically he's laid off, and so he's forced to stay home, and his wife, decides to get back to work, and find a job. And she's pretty successful, so he ends up spending quality time at home with his kids, and he's basically becoming the mom of the house. This came out during a time period that, a lot of, women were getting back to work, and it's very known, the early 80s is very much known as being the time when women were going into the working class world and really dominating, jobs that were originally, placed by men. And so it was really, really awesome time in terms of, gender equality and all that stuff, because women were going to work and really trying to fight for their rights to work just as much as males do. And she goes and she is successful. It's so awesome that they didn't fall into the route of, oh, she did a crappy job because she's a woman, that kind of a thing. She goes and she goes up the ropes really quick. She's successful. It's awesome. He's at home watching soap operas, doing the dishes, going grocery shopping, getting hit on by moms of different kids in the school. And, just everything that he does in this film is just, it's almost like he has this little stupidity to him because he doesn't really know what to do. He's at the store. He's spilling stuff everywhere, losing his kids. He doesn't know what to get. The house is a mess. He takes his wife for granted all those years because he just came home from work and had dinner, all that stuff. But now he's the one doing all the work, and the house is kind of falling apart. And basically, it's him trying to get the house back together, and also kind of see where maybe he took his wife for granted most of their relationship, and especially since he was the one working. And it's a really, really funny, hilarious slapstick kind of slapstick humor, but has such heart to it. It is definitely one that, makes you feel good, seeing how all these characters end up, especially the ones that we care about. So, Mr. Mom, great film, written by John Hughes, and you could tell. I actually remember when I first saw this, I was young, and I knew who John Hughes was, and I remember at the end, I was like, man, I love this movie, and then I saw it was written by John Hughes, and I was like, no wonder it was so good, because he really makes it hilarious and then adds to the heart. He brings the heart back into the film. So, definitely check out Mr. Mom. I think there's a piece of tape on here from when I bought it at Movie Stop. Yeah, there's a widescreen format of this out there somewhere, and I, for some reason, didn't find it. This is a Fullscreen DVD, and it has a terrible transfer, but one day we'll get a nice US Blu-ray release, Region 1 Blu-ray release for this. Yeah, so Mr. Mom. The next movie we're going to be talking about is number 3 in the Michael Keaton series, Beetlejuice.